Greetings, I'm the artificial intelligence who will be assisting you.
System activated.
Hey everyone, welcome to RETV, the home for your daily real estate news and stories. Today we have Bob Lachance, who is one of the top short sale mentors in the country. And he's completed hundreds of short sales up in the Connecticut area, and he's also founder of two must-read daily real estate sites. One is Short Sales Daily News. Is that correct, Bob?
Yeah, shortsaledailynews.com. Yep.
And the other is a pre-foreclosure daily grind, where he does some video blogging there himself.
Yep. Yes, we do, and we're very active. We do one video blog a week on pre-foreclosuredailygrind.com, and then we have daily articles on shortsaledailynews.com. So definitely check it out. It's great content, just like your video blog. So,
well, as somebody who's done hundreds of these short sales, you realize that short sales are becoming more and more attractive to sellers. A lot more people are seeing them as a alternative than they were a couple of years ago. And despite having this large volume increase in short sales, still less than half of all short sales are actually getting closed. What do you think is the reason that most of these short sale transactions fall apart?
well, what I find in our office, and again, we have weekly meetings every Monday morning on exactly what we see and why, if a deal does not close, what is the main reason why it did not close. And what we've been finding lately is the reason is that end buyers' agents are actually the ones that need to be educated properly. And what I mean by that is that, again, I always look at myself. If a deal doesn't close, it's my fault. It's nobody else's but my fault. It's not because the lender screwed me. It's not because the seller screwed me. It's my fault. So what we do is we dissect exactly what's been happening lately, and it's been that we have not been educating the end buyers' agents specifically enough as per. I'll give you an example. So once we get a new deal in, let's say it's HSBC or Bank of America, whoever it is, on the first mortgage, and there's also a second mortgage. It's our job right up front to contact the buyer's agent and let them know right away how long the process is going to take, what the typical discount ratios are as per the, once we find out who the investor behind the loan is, as per that, and also, like I said before, how long it's going to take. So if I don't do that up front, I failed my job. That's what's been happening lately. For whatever reason, there's been a disconnect with our communication. Why, I don't know, and that's one of the things that we're working on in our office, obviously.
Now, you mentioned that's in your business, but as somebody who works with buyers as well as sellers, I see a lot of deals fall apart when I'm representing the buyer that I really think could have been saved. Do you think that in some instances, outside of yours, that there are deals where the seller's agent just doesn't have enough experience or is taking no too quickly?
Oh, at 100%, absolutely. And the seller's agents don't do enough, what should I say, getting educated from the right people, I should say. Obviously, it takes the first deal. You could be very successful if you follow the right channels of education, if I should say that. But that's one of the things that's been a very, very, very challenging thing, especially in my area in Connecticut. The people that are doing the actual education are not agents that have actually done a successful short sale. So if you've not done a successful short sale, this is some advice I could give anybody is if they haven't done it, don't listen to them. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but just you always have to be careful who you're going to be listening to if they've never done it before. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And
go ahead. Sorry.
It seems that, most deals at one point or another, they're going to run into a tricky situation where it's about to fall apart and it just has to be saved in a short sale. Can you tell us about a recent experience you might have had with a bank where a deal fell apart and you saved it?
Absolutely. And this has to do with, I don't know how many agents out there also are investors, but in today's market, I definitely recommend looking at both avenues, both as a real estate agent and as a real estate investor. And this is the perfect example of this. I had a real estate listing. Buyer came in, Property was listed at 90 grand. Got a buyer, came in at 90 grand. FHA buyer, which are majority of them right now in the industry. Inspection failed. Property needed too much work. I knew that, but there's nothing I could do. Inspection failed, so I went back to HSBC and I said, listen, this property will not qualify for an FHA, which in this area was majority of the buyers were FHA. So I went back and I put an investor offer in at $52,000. Bank did their revaluation, and here's another tip. Valuations typically expire after 90 days. So what they did is they reevaluated the property, put their offer in at $52,000. I think it was $250. Got that offer accepted, rehabbed the property, put 25 grand into it, and ended up selling it for $125. So I think that's what a lot of agents must do in markets like this, because there's some huge opportunity in what I like to coin a short sale rehab. Very, very, very big opportunity, because lenders don't want properties that are especially in need of serious repair. So that is a huge, I don't know if you do that in your area at all, Dean, but that's a huge, huge, huge profit center for us.
Yeah, it's something that we haven't actually really even looked into, and now that you mentioned it, might be something that we do implement in the future.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's good.
It was about 11 months ago that HAFA was introduced. And, HAFA was going to save our industry, save the short sale situation. And about 7 months ago, it was implemented. And here we are, 7 months later, seeing hardly any HAFA short sales actually close. What do you think are the good things and the bad things about HAFA?
Well, first of all, the HAMP program was an absolute failure, and the HAFA is even more of a failure. I'm finding right now is that we've had, in the last month, we had about 40 HAFA deals come through the pipeline, and not one has gone on to the second level. It's just a joke. HAFA right now, the problem with HAFA, it's taking longer than a regular short sale. We have servicers that we talk to on a daily basis to say, you know what, HAFA right now is going well over 9 months right now on some of them. And we're like, 9 months? What are you talking about? They said it's an absolute shambles. And these are servicers that we're speaking to. So what we typically do is, we talk to the servicer and they recommend, and this is just so I put my disclosure in there, they recommend when they send a letter to their actual client, which their client is the homeowner, that they don't do the HAFA program. It's amazing. And
if you talk to, I'm sure you talk to your clients who are short selling their house, I don't know if it's the same up there as it is down here, but they're getting inundated every day over and over again with these flyers from agents saying you're going to get $3,000 to sell your house.
Yep, and that is obviously an objection you have to overcome as an agent trying to get that listing. You just got to go at them with the facts. Say, listen, you know what? Did you also know that you need to make payments while you're in the HAFA review? Right. And they're obviously going to say no. So, that's one of the big no-nos. Also, did you also know that if this particular one offer doesn't work out, you're agreeing to deed the property back to the bank, and you will now have a foreclosure on your credit. Another thing that they never say.
Right.
So as an agent, that's one or two ways you could rebut other agents saying, hey, you will and you can get $3,000 back by this lender. So you just got to be careful. And unfortunately, no matter where you are, you're dealing with kind of some devious marketing tricks from other agents and investors. So. Just to go on a little further. Sorry to interrupt you, but just to go on a little further there. There's some really in particular, and it's kind of interesting. We had a meeting this morning about different HAFA things, and just so you know, I don't know if you knew that Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae also implemented their HAFA type programs also. Right. And one of the things that I did jot down is that when you're dealing with Freddie Mac, is if you don't pre-apply, you will not qualify. And I'm just reading this because these are from some of my notes earlier. So they won't let you submit an offer and go through the actual HAFA program if you already have a contract on the table. What I mean by that is they typically want you to pre-apply. If you don't pre-apply for their HAFA program, then you will not qualify. You have to go through the regular channel. So that's dealing with Freddie Mac. Everyone else is the same. So that's a little tidbit that I had for you.
I appreciate that. In short sales, they're not going anywhere. They seem to be here for a while, especially in areas like Arizona, where I'm at, California, Florida. I'm not sure exactly how it is in your area. But where do you see the future of short sales?
Well, they're not obviously not going anywhere at all. You got to look at adjustable rate mortgage are popping every day. HAFA and HAMP program is an absolute failure, which we saw. But one of the other big points here, and nobody talks about, is right now the interest rates are artificial.